This chakra is the third chakra. And this is a series of videos I'm shooting about the kinds of things that can go wrong in your life based on what a chakra is doing. Jill Lee, founder and director of the Energy Healing Institute. You can learn more about what EHI has to offer by checking out energyhealinginstitute.org. I'm going to start this series of the third chakra issues based on the chakra either overfunctioning or underfunctioning. Because with all of the third chakra stuff, it's kind of a one or the other situation. So when a chakra is overfunctioning, it's flowing too much energy towards something. And when it's underfunctioning, not enough. And why that's a big deal with this particular chakra is because the third chakra is all about volition. It's all about how your energy flows towards what you want to create and manifest in your experience. So it's not just about what you actually produce in your life, it can also be about the kind of volition that's flowing towards behaviors, attitudes, ways of operating that don't work for you. Too much or not enough. So I'm going to start with overfunctioning. There's less of those and much more on the underfunctioning level. So let's cover those first. Perfectionism starts with perfectionism. When you have an overfunctioning third chakra and perfectionism is a pattern, you can't stop until it's perfect. And yet, what's that phrase? Perfection is the enemy of progress. Other things don't get done because this thing isn't perfect yet. And we can tend to drive ourselves a little bit crazy trying to get everything to be perfect when, in fact, in many cases, just enough is actually good enough, right? Another overfunctioning activity from the third chakra. If you've got anger issues, rageaholic, some people call themselves, just volatile, easily snapping, well, that's an overfunctioning third chakra. It's not that the emotion lives in the third chakra, it's that when the emotion arises, the third chakra is set to go, 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 and out comes just an overabundance of emotional energy. I used to say, because I know a little bit about anger from my own personal life story, I used to say that if I had a hangnail, someone should die. That's an overfunctioning third chakra. The other one is perseveration. Now, you might think when you perseverate, you're up here, and you're burning up the synapses thinking about whatever it is you're thinking about. And that's true. And when I get to the sixth chakra, you'll hear about perseveration again, I promise you. The energy flow that's driving you to think and think and think and think and think and overthink is third chakra energy, overfunctioning, pushing your energy and your awareness and your attention towards spinning your wheels on whatever it is you spin your wheels on. So those are the major overfunctioning third chakra issues. Underfunctioning. We got a lot of them. Okay. So hang on to your bootstraps. Let's go. Depression. When people are depressed, their energy collapses and they have trouble getting up the energy to do things, feeding themselves, getting out of bed, going to work, participating in their own lives. Underfunctioning volition energy. Resistance. When you have trouble pushing through to get to the next thing, whether it's going to the grocery store or moving out of a relationship or moving into a relationship or whatever, moving on emotionally, physically, spiritually, that's underfunctioning third chakra energy. Now, this next one is kind of interesting because it's a both and. Caretaking. If you're a caretaker and you're putting other people's needs ahead of yourself, you actually have an overfunctioning third chakra flowing towards solving their problems, doing their things. But you come home at night after, say, washing a friend's kitchen floor, and your own kitchen floor doesn't get washed because your third chakra is underfunctioning in terms of taking care of yourself and your own life. Invalidation or low self-esteem. That is contributed to through the third chakra. There's an energy that's flowing inwards and down in a collapsed kind of way. I'll never be good enough. I'll never make it as a XYZ. It's an inward and down flowing energy rather than an up and out creation and manifestation energy. If you've got a lot of negative beliefs that you have trouble shaking, that is your third chakra under functioning on flowing energy towards I choose this instead of I believe that. If you have authority issues, and there can be two sort of versions of authority issues, there can be the internal authority that acts on what is right for you. You know you don't want to eat sugar, and yet someone hands you a bowl of Fruit Loops or whatever, and down your neck they go, because internally you lack the authority to say thanks, but that's not for me. The other problem can be external authority, where someone else's version of who you're supposed to be dominates your sense of self, and you simply collapse into doing it their way, operating on their view of how you should be in the world. If you've got porosity issues, if you've got boundary issues, both of these things are lack of volition in the third chakra. They're contributing to the problem. In that, your energy doesn't flow towards containment. It doesn't flow towards holding yourself in space and time. It flows towards collapsing the boundaries and letting things sort of wash over you. So I've talked about trauma running the show in other chakras, and that's because our lower chakras tend to be where our trauma story lives. When trauma runs the show, you sort of trip out of current time and your energy flows as if you were in some other time and space. And the third chakra will sort of drive your car in that direction to that other time and place. If you're easily overwhelmed, then the third chakra kind of shuts down and you have trouble taking action. You may want to run and hide. You may want to just sort of tuck in and stay away from people and other activities. Now, there's nothing wrong with that choice to stay home and not go out. But if it runs your life, then your energy is not flowing towards a full and productive life. If you have problems with task completion, getting stuff done, you've got low volition in that third chakra. It does not flow towards completion. Along with that, you might find yourself in a place where you're sort of highly controlling and you need to sort of be in charge, and yet you don't act fully on whatever it is you need to be in charge of. There can be sort of a, I need to run it, but I'm not going to do it. Failure to actualize. So if there are things that you want to create and you flow a little bit of energy and a little bit of action towards creating them, but then they don't happen, that's a third chakra volition energy issue. The reason I keep sharing these things in these videos is that it's really important to understand where you want to put your energy when you start to do the work to resolve these patterns. You can have all the ahas in the world of, oh, I'm a perfectionist. But if you don't know how to work with your energy to manage your way out of perfectionism and where to focus, then you could find yourself in a perfectionist pattern around how to stop being a perfectionist. So getting the data on the table gives you agency and authority to go and do the work and know where to put your focus when you start working on clearing your energy. Hope this is useful.